The Supreme Court is back in session. They rejected today an appeal by Ghislaine Maxwell to overturn her conviction. That means her only chance at getting out of prison is a pardon from you. Is that something you're open to?
Who are we talking about?
Ghislaine Maxwell.
I haven't heard the name in so long. I can say this, that I'd have to take a look at it. I would have to take a look. Did they reject that?
She wanted to appeal her conviction.
And what happened?
They said that they were not going to hear her appeal.
I see. Well, I'll take a look at it. I will speak to the DOJ.
That was just the latest of many opportunities that Donald Trump was given to say, no, I'm not going to release into the wild the most notorious living sex predator in America, at least free. Puff Daddy has apparently been locked up. And no, he has to look into it. He's not sure. Oh, also, he doesn't really remember the name. He hasn't heard the name in a long time. He hasn't partied with her in a while. Oh, also, he doesn't know what the Supreme Court has been up to. Now, you can believe all of those things, but if you do believe all those things, then you have to kind of accept that this guy is Sleepy Joe in a way that Joe Biden even never was. He has no clue what's going on. He has no idea what's in the news. But again, I don't really believe it. And one of the reasons is there continues to be reporting coming out of Ghislaine Maxwell, who is, at least as of right now, still locked up. Kind of. She's in like a minimum security place. It's probably nicer than most of the places you and I have ever lived in our lives. And the stuff that's been coming out of that has been highly suspicious. And it's not just me saying that. Many of the inmates that are currently in prison with Ghislaine Maxwell have been noting suspicious comings and goings. So she apparently, while fellow inmates of hers were confined to their dormitories after breakfast, she instead was brought to the camp's chapel where she received several visitors. Now, it couldn't be determined who she met with in the chapel that day. And by the way, let's just pause there for a second. You keep it up. The Wall Street Journal sort of just glosses over that. Why the hell would we not be able to know what visitors she's receiving in prison? Why is that like private information? It wasn't taken in private and she's a goddamn prisoner. Why would we not get to know that? But okay, I guess we're just not as important as Ghislaine Maxwell. We don't have as much control over what happens. Some prisoners, by the way, heard that the lockdown was needed to accommodate important visitors, that this was not just, as you might expect, some sort of coincidence. They locked the prison down so that she could meet up with some VIPs in the chapel. Now, when she apparently left, she had a smile on her face, and an inmate asked her about the meeting. She said it went really well, but didn't share any other information. And so she's apparently not only getting special guests and not only likes the visits that she's getting, but the prison is contorting itself into pretzel-like knots to make sure that their identity remains hidden. They didn't want any of these other prisoners to see her, so they locked down the entire prison for it, which again, is that how prison normally works? Like if you and I was locked up and like our mom visited, would they lock everyone else in their cells so we could spend some quality time in the chapel? I kind of suspect not. And so she, you would think, not been treated very well by the actual prisoners there. She is what they call a chomo. I haven't heard that before. I haven't watched a lot of prison shows, but a sex predator. Generally, other prisoners don't like sex predators. And so they're treating her a little bit more harshly than like the president of the United States would. But they were told that someone important was coming to do a walkthrough. The warden even called a town meeting warning other inmates not to harm Maxwell, which by the way, nobody should be harmed in prison, but it's almost like don't harm her during the limited remaining time that she's actually gonna be in there. We gotta make sure that she survives long enough to be released is what it feels like. Since then, she's been allowed to eat alone in her dormitory, has a security escort for when she wants to check out, and is allowed to shower well after other inmates are supposed to be in their bunks. So she is being treated very specially and already has. She wouldn't even be there if she wasn't. And I ask again, why the special treatment for someone who seems to deserve it far less than literally any other prisoner in there? And if you fear that he might pardon her, I think that these most recent developments should give you cause to believe that. And so we'll see.